basically I've added a PLA printed base. These parts just clamp this to the base with M6 countersunk bolts. One of my favourite types of bolt. They look really nice. This is a bracket to hold the motor. That's the model of motor we're using. And this bit here is a coupling which I printed in carbon filled PETG, purely because it seems like quite a strong material. And basically this coupling allows for either the motor to be detached and slid out, the whole motor bracket, or this whole section to be detached from the base and slid out without worrying about any parts that are like press fit really tightly or bolted together or anything weird like that. This is a very loose fit. It also allows some play between this sort of stand and this bracket and this bracket, which because of all the tolerance stacking etc, when it runs there's a bit of a wobble. This basically allows for that to move separately of this. Less likely to have things break or things snap or things wear out over time. Basically before I set up the camera, I fed through some PLA from our 4.5 kilo spool holder, printed on our large format FDM machines. Pretty rough print, but we wanted it to be functional, so that I set the layer heights really high because it needs to be functional, not exactly pretty. So we don't really care it looks pretty rough. Yeah, and this is just an old power supply we had lying around. I'll pop that on. This motor is good up to 24 volts, but as you can see, I'm running it at I say 12, just under 12, and it's got a pretty good pace on now. I could probably turn it up to 24. But do I really want to risk this going super fast and jamming and pulling itself apart, and then I have to spend hours and hours rebuilding things and refixing things? Or I can just run it a little slower, sit back and have a coffee. That's the model of power supply if you're interested. I'm sure you can find a different one that would work. Now the only thing to watch with this is when you turn it off, you have to grab this spool, otherwise it will untangle itself. I'm going to have to do it off camera because I need the extra hand. There we go. Basically, if you don't immediately grab that when you turn it off, the momentum, the angular momentum in that will keep this spinning, and then you have loads of tanglements going on. I've perhaps overfilled this a little bit, but yeah, you get the idea.